closing day today, and sure most of you realize that closing day is a fabulous day for sellers and buyers, because it means they have gotten through every single obstacle that could go wrong between getting it under contract and actually getting to hand the keys over. And for the buyers, it's always a special day because they then now own a home of their own. Closing day is one of my absolute favorite days. But there are so many things that could go wrong from the time that you get your house under contract, whether you're the seller or the buyer. There are so many things that could go wrong that could prevent closing. And before I got into real estate, I had no earthly idea the things that could go wrong. Let's talk about some of the most common from the buy side and the sell side. From the buy side, the most common thing that I see happen, and listen, I'll preface this by saying, thankfully, in the last 7.5 years, I could count on less than one hand the number of deals that have fallen apart. I think because I was in education before I got into real estate, I'm very good at being proactive and keeping my clients informed and letting them know what are the things they need to do to prevent a contract from falling apart. But it happens to people every day. All right. So from the buy side, what happens very commonly is their financing falls through. So if you are thinking about buying anytime soon, or if you are currently under contract to buy a home, unless you are paying cash or you are very, very wealthy, you do not want to finance anything major. No appliances, no vehicles, no toys like boats or side-by-sides or anything like that. You basically do not want to incur more debt during the time that you are under contract to buy either a house or land. That would not be very smart. And listen, you may make a whole lot of money, but it's still not smart, and I would not take that chance. So it's going to take probably from contract to close anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. I always tell my buyers, be very, very, very conservative. Do not give anyone your social security number unless it's the closing attorney and the lender that you're using to buy the home. It's a great time to save money, put money in the bank, and just live very, very, very conservatively if you are thinking about buying or you are currently under contract to buy a home. As a seller, some ways that the contract could fall apart before closing is, let's just say that you're under contract to buy a home for $350,000 and it appraises for $320,000, and you as the seller do not agree to lower the price to the appraised value for whatever reason. If the buyer doesn't want to come out of pocket for the difference, then the deal falls apart. And that does happen sometimes. So if it doesn't appraise and y'all don't come to an agreement, then the deal is going to fall apart, which means it's not going to closing, right? Let's just say that you are under contract with a government loan and the appraiser flags all kinds of things on the home that need to be repaired before closing. Things like broken windows, peeling paint, rotten wood, things like that, right? And for whatever reason, the seller either cannot pay for the repairs or doesn't agree with the appraiser and doesn't agree to do the repairs, right? Then the deal is going to probably fall apart because those items need to be done in order for it to meet appraisal. And of course, there are caveats to that. There are all kinds of ways and workarounds around that, right? But that means that the two real estate agents have to put their heads together and find a very creative way to get those things done that the appraiser is calling for. There are absolutely ways to get it done, but if the seller's adamant about allowing it to happen, then the deal absolutely can fall apart. The main reason, though, is financing. Repairs, appraisal, right? The smartest thing that you can do if you are a seller or a buyer is align yourself with a real estate agent in your area who you know, like, and trust, and who you know closes lots and lots and lots of transactions, because they have seen it, they have done it, they know what kinds of things can go south, and they are usually, if they're good and they close lots of deals, they are very proactive at making sure that those things do not occur and that you get to closing. Before you hire a real estate agent, a great question would be to ask, what percentage of your deals fall apart? And if you feel like that number's high, then you should interview other people. I will tell you, probably, like I said, I can count on less than one hand the number of deals that have fallen apart for me in the last 7.5 years. I've seen it, I've done it, I've experienced pretty much anything that could go wrong. So being proactive is something that I enjoy doing, because I don't like, nobody wants to see a deal fall apart, right? The sale falls apart and I don't get paid. So absolutely, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that the deal closes, so that keys are exchanged, everybody's happy, and I get a paycheck at the end of the day, right? Nobody likes to work for free. Remember this, in real estate, there are no stupid questions. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. And if you're thinking about buying or selling, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Y'all take care.